Gonna keep my headset forward so it'll cover some of the bald spot a little bit.
And welcome to episode 117 of
Billy
Ripping the Rack
Jr.
podcast. I am your host, Tim. Morning period is over. With me today is the King of the North, Calvin. How you doing, buddy?
Go Leafs, go! Yeah.
And we have a special guest, Mr. Adam Melanson. Melatonin.
Melanson, just Melanson.
Menatite.
Billy Jr.
Sammy Samsonite. There it is.
That works. Whatever comes out of your mouth is
I
always
wasn't
right.
even close.
It wasn't even close. Adam Melanson is joining us tonight, live from the Great White North, approximately 2 miles from Calvin. I don't know. I'm making that up. Is that about right?
I was pretty close.
That's probably pretty damn.
Was that pretty close?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably a little bit further, maybe like 4 miles, but still. Close
So I obviously want some thrashing tonight because I lose my Coastal Crusader, who is a Bruins fan, and I pick up another Canadian.
Yeah. Luckily, I'm not as diehard of a Toronto fan as this guy is, but I gotta be a bandwagoner once it comes to the playoffs.
So Adam, who would be your NHL team?
I've actually been a closet Colorado fan for the last 20 years. Growing up, my bedroom was full of Colorado stuff. I was obsessed with Patrick Roy, but I haven't come out of that closet because everyone would think I'm a bandwagoner over the last 5 years. Look at that.
Oh, so that's the reason why.
No one wants to see that much skin on you, buddy.
That's what it is. It's the good luck. That's what it is. The good luck rub. You got to rub the tattoo for good luck.
It's the good luck. Oh, that's the good luck rub?
Oh yeah.
How long have you had that tattoo now?
Since December.
Oh, I didn't know it was that new.
Yeah, 5 months.
If they win this year, are you going to put like the year?
Oh yeah, the years going underneath. Oh yeah, the years are going underneath, and then if they don't ever win, the last tattoo I'm ever gonna get before I die is at least I wasn't a Habs fan. And then so if I'm like 90 years old on my deathbed, I'm gonna get them to stretch out my skin. And then they're gonna put at least I wasn't a Habs fan, and then that'll be the end of it.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Keep talking amongst yourselves for a sec. I'm just letting our Facebook world know that
I'm half eyeball between the ball game too.
Oh,
we can.
So
we can fully talk about 3-1 leads or 3-2 leads.
Before we get into
12-pin leads in the 20th string.
14.
Before we let's talk about those that have a lead going into the 20th string and throw a 90 string.
Hey, it's not as bad because I wasn't up 40. What would you classify? 43 pins or 43 points to pinfall. Let's say like up 200 points on my nearest competitor, and I ended up losing in the first round of the playoffs.
So
let's talk about like let's say it was like Lucky Strike, who had gone 70-2 or whatever in the round robin, and they were facing like Tim Matero's shitty team, and then you guys happen to somehow just big upset and beat them by like 200 pins. That would be like the equivalent of how Boston did against Florida. Florida was so shitty.
But here's the thing.
What?
Look, if you look at how the year went, Florida is the only team that truly played them as equals all year long. Yes.
The Leafs played.
No, the Leafs suck. The Leafs are they're trash. Their fans are trash.
But they're in the second round.
Everybody in Toronto is trash.
They're into the second round.
I said it.
How are the Bruins doing?
Trash.
Yeah, how are the Bruins doing?
Bruins are out.
I think it's going to be poetic for Toronto. Toronto's
I can't wait to see Toronto get swept by the Panthers.
Not a chance in hell.
No.
So here's let's talk about this for a quick second, because if you look at the way the Bruins season went with the way the Golden State Warriors went in what was it, 2016, when they had 72 wins or something like that.
Yeah.
And you look at like the Yankees in 2004. You look at the Mariners in whenever it was when they had 116 wins. You even look at some of your more recent. It's the curse of the President's Cup.
Yeah.
8 of the last 36 teams have gone on to win. That means 28 of those lost. The best team. I don't know. I don't rank it as the greatest choke job of all time. That I leave to the Yankees in 2004.
Yeah.
To be the first team ever in baseball history to be up 3-0, and you lose 4 games to the Red Sox.
Yeah, but it was a pretty solid Red Sox team.
Yeah, and Florida was a pretty solid Florida team.
Yeah, but Boston was far better.
Yeah,
they were, but I think people forget that Florida were the President's Cup winners last year. It's not like they were terrible last year.
And they started their backup goalie in the
who's been he's like a killer when it comes to the playoffs.
Playoffs.
we're talking about playoffs. Yeah, that's all that matters is playoffs.
But I don't know.
You're the number one team by far.
Yep, and that just goes to show you that with hockey, if you get a hot goalie and you get a few mistakes made by the other team, that's all it takes to win a series.
That is very true.
I suppose all sports where you can make more mistakes. Like baseball, you can have more mistakes. You got 9 guys to pick up for you. Hockey, you don't quite got that. Basketball, you've only got a couple guys having your back.
Tim, you really sucked all the fun out of this, making fun of you about the Bruins.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you did. So all you other Boston Bruins fans, you bunch of losers who can't just admit that their team is ass. I wish you would have gotten to the second round because I wanted Toronto to just pummel you and embarrass you and make you quiver for the 10 years, at least 10 years of punishment that I've gone through. 10 years of videos. Remember when Toronto had a 4-1 lead going into the third?
Well, you've taken it with grace, though, Calvin.
Remember when Boston had a 3-1 lead on the shittiest team to make the playoffs and still lost?
Toronto? Remember when Toronto was up? Remember when Toronto had a 3-goal lead?
Yeah, no.
In the third period?
Not anymore. It's ancient history, Tim. We're talking about the now. And the now is
now you want to talk about the now.
The Celtics are up 38-31 if you want to talk about the now.
Boston
Celtics are on game 1, so we've moved on.
The screen.
They're only up 7 and Embiid isn't playing.
Why is this? Oh my god, I hate it when my Celtics.
They're only up 7 and Embiid isn't playing. That is terrible.
It's the first quarter.
Trash. Yeah. That's terrible. They're only up 7.
How are the Raptors doing?
I'm not a Raptors fan, so I don't know.
You're a bandwagoner.
No, I'm not a basketball fan.
You're a bandwagon.
No, I just don't watch basketball. I'm a bandwagoner.
The tattoo.
You can go fuck yourself, Tim Matero. I am not a bandwagoner.
You know what? That is some fucking poor language on this show.
No.
You can tell Brian's not here, Adam. Can't you tell?
Yeah, you guys are brutal, like my virgin ears.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Hey,
are you kidding me, Tim?
Hey, watch your fucking language. We have a child on the show tonight.
I can't watch.
Look at these bald spots. They look like child.
We have the Canadian Jeff Surratt on the show.
The Canadian Jeff Surratt. Oh my God!
Someone sent me a picture of that.
Yes.
Lindsay sent me a picture of that. She goes, "This is your twin," and I was like, I never saw it. I wasn't sure if to be complimented or hurt. But...
Oh yes, you guys are twins.
I'm a bit more of a goober though.
Oh no, he's a pretty big goober.
And also, I think I've gotten too fat to be called as like if you compare downwards now.
No, Jeff's pretty fat. So.
No, Jeff?
No,
I'm fat.
Yeah, you're fat. Yeah, he's fat.
No, it's just because you're tiny, Tim. That's the difference.
You're compressed.
And fat.
You're compressed.
Oh God. So apparently, I've got to. I have been challenged. Now that we're live, someone said I didn't dare say something.
Can't wait.
So apparently, I'm supposed to say, "Guess what, chicken butt? Guess why, chicken thigh? Guess when, chicken hen? Guess who, chicken poo?" That's right. I went there. I don't know. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but that's what I said. I don't know. I don't know. I thought someone was behind me.
It seems like you made like a drunken contract.
How do you mute Tim?
I'm the host. You can't mute the host.
How do you mute Tim? I can't. How do you?
Andrew would love to know how to mute me.
How do I fucking mute him? It's not working. That was terrible. Who did that?
Ian would say, by the way, the main state semifinals were fantastic. The finals kind of a runaway.
I didn't.
We'll talk about the states, and I'm gonna probably piss some people off tonight, and that's okay.
Yay!
Because
piss some people off.
I've retired from the game, so I don't know.
Oh yeah, Adam, I think you can see the comments. By the way, Ian said hi to you, and you didn't.
Yeah, I just changed it from private chat to comments, and I just seen that. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I'm just gonna ignore Ian, I guess, until you guys are done talking.
Oh, that's good.
Hey, Ian.
Nice. That's nice of you.
Oh, now I'm trying to look up the final scores for the states.
They don't. I haven't seen them. I haven't seen them posted.
Didn't Paul send a big message? And what was that all about? Wasn't that the state finals stuff?
He didn't give the scores. But let's move on. Let's move on to bowling. So let's move on to bowling.
We'll get it there.
Okay.
He felt cornered. He's got to.
Calvin, Calvin and Adam, tell me before we move on. Tell us about Canadian stuff.
There's really nothing. I didn't get any stats from this weekend, but the Earl McCully was this weekend at Fairlanes. They ended up having 85 bowlers, which was very good. It wasn't like the 90 I think that they had thought they had. Yep. I think a few people dropped out at the last minute. But winner was Serge Hashi. Good bowling, Serge. I don't know what he finished with. I don't know any stats or anything, but he won. I believe Nick Cleveland came in second and Bert Shanks came in third. That's all I know. I saw the start of the day, and Jerry Dunn went 437 for his first three.
Someone told me Sunday morning he averaged 125 for the day and finished like 8th or something like that.
I think so. Well, he started out 437, and then I think he went another 124, 125. And then I think he went 129 or 132 or something like that. So for the first 6, he was averaging about 131. And then he had back-to-back 90s, I think, to finish the day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think he had 98, like maybe 102 or 112 or something like that. So, yeah, he had a tough finish to the day, but he started out just smashing the pins. So,
I mean, that whole tournament being 100% handicap, you're almost guaranteed to have someone between the 100 to 110 average win it.
Oh, yeah. I'll never win it. And people ask me all day why I wasn't bowling in it. And I said, well, I didn't feel like throwing away $50. And I've also bowled 100 strings in the last month. And I don't really want to bowl.
I always said, like, if we still had like a big tournament in May or something to warm up for, I would definitely bowl in it.
Well, I got the B.
Yeah.
I got the B starting Wednesday.
Yeah, I guess. I completely forgot about that tournament.
Yeah, so that's coming up.
You sound mentally invested.
Yeah, I am. I'm ready. I'm pumped. I'm ready to go.
Are you bowling with that team that has like 7 or 8 bowlers, but only 5 each day?
No. I'm bowling with Chipman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That Nick Cleveland guy that you said that finished second, where's he from?
I have no idea. I don't even know who he is.
I never heard the name before.
Yeah, I think Nova Scotia. I don't know if anybody knows him. In the comments. I think it looks like it's only Ian here right now. Usually we have like Nico and. Oh no! Is that my best friend? Did he miss me?
That was Lucy.
My cat's eyeballing me too. She's probably gonna be up here soon. Ian, that's very nice of you to not hoard all the money, buddy. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Ian probably would have averaged like 87 for the day. That would be my guess.
If he comes in with an 80 average, he wins.
No, he would come in with about 107. Nick and Bert are both out of. Oh, okay, so Nick's out of Avon Valley Lanes. Cool.
Okay.
Cool. That's
There was
pretty good.
there was what, a good dozen Nova Scotia bowlers there.
Yeah.
So Angela had a good day.
I think Angela had a great day. Yeah, I think she averaged 87, maybe 77, something around there.
I saw her post something where
she struggled.
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't very good. No, she was not very. Oh, look, it's the loser. I mean, Brian Fuller Jr. One of the worst bowlers in America. Did you see? I think even Jeff Walsh beat him, and Jeff Walsh beats nobody, and he beat Brian Fuller for the triple on Friday night. Like, are you kidding me? How do you come back from that? How do you mentally be like, I lost to Jeff Walsh?
You know what we need to get if you're gonna trash on Fuller.
Okay.
Then we need Fuller on here so he can respond in kind to trash you.
Fuller, I'm gonna send you a stream. Come on in, bud.
You want him to join? I'll send it to him.
I don't think Fuller disagrees with me. That's why he can't defend himself, because I don't think he disagrees with what I say.
What's that triple on Friday night that you're talking, a triple league or something? Or
no, it's just a Friday night pro league.
They have their Friday night pro league. The one that gets streamed, they have everybody usually has a stream going.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah, he ended up 313 or something like that, I think, and he was third low triple out of both teams.
But he only bowled 2 strings because he had to leave.
Did he?
Yeah.
So the third, they just took his average, or 90% of his average, or something.
No, I'm just shitting with you. I have no idea.
Okay. I was like...
It'd be hilarious because if he had 313 and he had to leave, and they took his 10% of his average or whatever, it's still 110. That would be hilarious if he actually had to leave. They took his average and he still couldn't break 330.
329.
Oh, 329?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, get it right, Calvin.
Put some respect on his name, Calvin.
Yeah, that's right. Put some respect on that.
My bad.
How many Easter Classics have you won?
7, I think.
How many of you?
I don't keep track anymore.
You've won none. And how many has Fuller won?
That's the past, man. It's like the Bruins.
Okay.
It's like the Bruins. They were good. Like Brian Fuller, he was good. Now
did he
just
throw harder?
shitty like the Bruins. No, he still threw like a pussy when he was.
Yeah, the strikes still go faster than both of ours. So
no, they don't. I just don't get strikes, so I can't. I have no. What do you call that?
So
reference.
So what else has gone on up in Canada?
Nothing, I don't think. I got
any upcoming tournaments besides
the B provincials. I don't think there's anything in Nouvelle Coast.
Okay.
Nouvelle Coast. I don't think so.
Okay.
Let me see.
I think the last big thing they had was during the Easter Classic. They had that 480 tournament.
460.
460. Whatever it was. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, I don't think there is anything else upcoming. Didn't we talk? 460 wasn't last weekend, Hoagie. It was the weekend before, and I already talked about it.
That's true. He did.
Sure.
He did.
I'm pretty sure.
So down here in the old statey states, there's been a bunch of stuff. I had to fumigate my house last week after Calvin left because it was stunk of Leafs stuff.
Oh, I thought it was my ass because I did let a good bomb go in there when you guys went to bed. It was a nice big poop.
Angie thanks you for that.
Oh yeah, did she enjoy the chips? Did you?
What chip? Oh yeah.
Chips that I left.
What chips? I guess that answers that.
I have not eaten them.
No,
I'm trying to be good. Trying to lose weight for the wedding this week because I gotta wear a suit. I gotta look good in the suit.
Because that sounds fun.
What, looking good?
No, like fitting in a suit. You can't fit in a suit.
Well, we'll find out.
To get real tailored.
We're gonna find out real quick.
Well, he already had to get it fixed once, so
yeah, it's been tailored. It should be good.
Couldn't fit. In
we had the NASCAR 560 in Augusta last weekend.
hold on, Hoagie. I know you're here, bud. Why is our schedule not pinned in the Maritime Candlepin thing anymore? Hoagie, figure that out.
I don't know. So let's talk about, and Adam, I'm going to get your, I know you weren't there, so I'm going to ask a couple of questions because I want your, oh, hey, kitty.
Man, your cat does not just go lay down. He just doesn't stop roaming.
She is a roamer all day.
She just doesn't stop moving. Like, go
Oh,
lay
hi,
down,
kitty.
kitty.
I don't usually talk this much when I'm home, so I think she's like wondering where the people are or something.
So two things. One is we had the NASCAR 560 in Augusta. And I only say the NASCAR because we gave it like 432 different names. 16 teams, great turnout. Had a great weekend. There was some controversy at the end.
Oh, controversy.
Yep.
I like it.
I don't, because it's always going to piss people off.
Okay.
So we had 5 teams tie for second place after the last string.
Holy crap.
Yep. So we paid 4.
Okay.
So first team was all set. Mark Carrier and his team, they won going away. They bowled fantastic all weekend.
Yeah.
And then we ended up with a 5-team tie for second place. So second, third, and fourth, 2 teams were going to get left out of the money. Went to pinfall.
Yeah.
Okay. Pinfall, from what they had at the center at 1-7-10, had Kobe's team as second place. Third place was, I can't remember. I apologize. I don't remember third and fourth place. But out of the money was
Sparks's were third.
Okay.
And
I don't remember.
I don't either.
I don't. Anyway, the controversy is
I'll go look it.
Is so Justin Lyonnais' team, according to the paperwork, came in 5th. So they missed the money.
Yeah.
Their paperwork that they kept, showed their pinfall was higher than what Augusta had.
Is the scorekeeping electronic there, or
no? So what happened was, when they set it up, they did not set it up that way. So everything was written down, was handed in, and then was put into a spreadsheet and put on, printed out, and that's what it was. So I announced I was given the top 4 teams and the money, high single out of the money and all that. So I announced everyone, and then we got wait, there's a discrepancy. We need to look this over. And it was about, Brian and I left, Calvin left, we left because Mark and Mona were taking care of it.
Yeah.
So I do not know where there was a mistake made. Somewhere a mistake was made. I don't know if it was Mona. I don't know if it was Mark. I don't know if it was Justin. I don't know if it was Kobe. I don't know where some type of mistake was made, where the discrepancy was. So according to Justin, they should have actually gone from 5th to 2nd. Kobe's should have gone from 2nd to 5th.
According to the stats that they were holding on themselves.
Yep. So I don't know what's going to happen. Mark's been on vacation. He's either back or is coming back or whatever it is, and then he's going to look into it some more. I've apologized to Justin. I've apologized to everybody for this.
Why do you gotta apologize?
Well, because I don't like having mistakes made like this. This is money. Okay. It's the difference between, I forgot what second place played out, like $3,000.
Oh yeah, it's $3,000.
Oh, you were responsible for organizing the tournament a little bit, were you?
Well, I mean, yes and no. I mean, it was my idea for the tournament. It was Mark's house. Mark was running it. I was helping.
Okay, now I understand why you were apologizing. Okay.
So my question is this. In and I'm going to ask both of you guys because I have my opinion on this, and I will speak on this in a second. Moving forward, would you go total pinfall? We had decided at the beginning, first place, if there was a tie for first place, it would be a one-string roll-off.
Yep.
All other spots would be total pinfall.
Yeah.
Moving forward, what are your guys' thoughts on all money spots should be determined with a one-string roll-off? That it eliminates pinfall.
The only thing you run into is if you have multiple ways like we did. Now you could do all three teams and then just highest pinfall of that string or roll off or whatever wins, and then you base that roll off the seeding. So like if say we were in a roll off and we were 622 and then it went 615 and 619 or something like that, well 619 would get third and 615 would get fourth, like
how the triples tournament finished off.
Yeah, like we did the triples tournament. You have three teams. If they're a roll off like we would have had, because 3 teams finished tied for second place, or 4 teams even, 5 teams even. I don't even remember. There was a lot of teams, and so then you would have to do a multiple way roll off.
So this is the first look. I think. Oh, Charlie Collins was fourth.
Yes, I was going to say it, but we were talking. Yeah, so
ACST.
Yeah,
so,
ACST team.
I've obviously, as you guys have as well, bowled in a lot of tournaments, house tournaments, state tournaments, provincials, worlds, all of this. This is the first time I have ever seen 5 teams tie for a money spot.
Super rare. You probably won't see that happen a long time.
Again, I'm 52 years old.
Yeah.
I've been bowling for 30 plus years
Jesus.
in adult tournaments.
It was
Yes, I'm old, Adam.
No, I think he's talking about the fact that
No, it's talking about it being old.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, it was crazy the fact that there was basically one team that ran away with it, and then there was we were only 4 points out. Like if we'd have won the 2 strings in the morning, we had a chance at being tied for second place. Like it was crazy the fact that there was basically 9 or 10 teams that were all tied, or all at least within striking distance going into the last 2 strings.
Oh wow, you guys really sucked to start.
Well, we were handicapped with me bowling.
Yeah, we were. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we got very unlucky the first 4 strings.
Just getting rolled over by people throwing.
Well,
big
no,
games.
I mean, in a 560, and I bowled enough 560s. You guys have obviously bowled 560s.
Yeah.
We had 3 teams go 615 and higher.
Yeah.
Against us.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Like we lost. We bowled 1 string. We went 585, 590, and lost.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So I mean,
581, and I think even one of our 600s we lost. I think or something. So.
Yeah, we had a couple of 600s in there, and we didn't. One of them we lost.
So going back to what you think about that is first place, no matter what, even if it was a pinfall tournament or just round robin tournament, should always be a 1-string roll off if it's a tie. Because I just think that's in the spirit of who's the real champion. I always think it should be that. Anything after that sounds kind of salty, but no one cares if you didn't win the tournament. Just do it pinfall, unless it's to get into a playoff spot to continue in the tournament. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, if they're money spots, just pinfall it. It's the end of the day. Most people probably want to get home. They don't care if they bring home an extra $50.
Wow, it was more than $50, but
yeah. But that kind of goes back to just me thinking, if I don't win a tournament, I don't care.
I agree to a sense, but I also don't agree because, especially in this instance, we had 2 teams that were at the same total, but didn't get in because of their pinfall. They won.
Oh, I see that. Yeah.
Yeah, the whole point of the tournament is to win your head-to-head strings. Doesn't matter if you throw a 501 or you throw a 499. As long as you win, you're winning the head-to-head. That's the whole point of the tournament. So you can throw in that argument that pinfall really shouldn't matter if you're going head-to-head.
You could put another clause in there where it's head to head versus the other teams that you were against. It kind of gives you an extra point to go. Like, say if let's see, ACST bowled against Sparks, and when they bowled against each other, if ACST beat Sparks, then maybe you flip third to fourth. Kind of have a head to head thing in that.
Yeah.
That's one thing you kind of do.
Yeah.
So then you kind of gotta take a little bit of time and look at, like, with a 5-team tie, you'd have to look at 5 different.
Yeah, but who had you could go like who had the best record against each of those teams.
Yeah,
right. So you'd have to go, okay, so Kobe's team went 3-2 or 3-1, whatever it is, because it's 5, so it's 4 matches. So 3-1. Lion A's team went 4-0, so they would move up to second. I guess you could do it that way.
But you could only use that in an instance where everyone bowls each other, because we do know there's some round robin tournaments where it's luck of the draw and you don't bowl certain ones.
Correct. But on those, though, you're typically moving over into a playoff. When you're not bowling everybody, typically it's
a playoff
and you're doing playoffs.
Yeah. Which I've always said for the Worlds. I think it should never have been like 5th place and you tie. It should never be by pinfall. I've always for the Worlds. If you tie for the playoff spot, it should be a roll off.
Yeah.
It should never be by pinfall, because some teams may be built that way, that they win points with not very high strings.
Woo.
Yeah, like Adam. Yeah. So it should always, I think for a playoff spot, it should always be a roll off, no matter what.
So it bothers me that this happened, because I really just wanted a well-established tournament to move forward, and it will be. We'll get past this, because nothing was malicious. It wasn't, no one's trying to screw anyone out of anything. There's just some type of mistake was made.
So here's another weird question on it. I see in the 12-string Daly tied with the 1-7-10 team.
And there's the other thing, Adam.
If Daly got to 18, would they have been higher?
But you're actually looking at the results that were posted, right?
Yeah.
Which Mark posted, and I believe there was a mistake somewhere in there that never should have been posted.
Yeah, somebody.
That's the thing that kind of is the crux of this, is you're looking at a piece of paper that's been posted that there is a mistake somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, well, the paper I'm looking at, it only has the standings.
Right.
They ate the points.
But there's even a mistake in the standings.
Right.
One of them's got 9 teams winning and 7 losing or something like that.
So it's really, unfortunately, there's no malicious intent, but a mistake was made that will cost people money.
Yeah.
Somehow, some way. And maybe the mistake that's made has no bearing on anything, and the actual results are the actual results.
Right.
Which, and I hate to say best case scenario, that's actually the case, is that the top 4 teams are truly the top 4 teams, and the payouts are the payouts, and everything was correct.
Yeah. And somebody made an adding mistake on their side. Like,
and I hate to put it that way, because
no. I mean, it's logical. That's the best way you want it, so that nobody gets like they made a mistake. That sorry that you made the mistake, but the standings are the standings. That's the best case scenario. And I mean, sorry, yes, like you say, sorry to the other teams, but that's just best case scenario. Best case scenario is everything is fine, and we don't need to contact people to lose money or get money.
Right. And then now you're talking, almost a week, and it's been over a week.
Yeah. 2 weeks now. Yeah.
It's been a while. So are you really going to get any money back if there was a mistake made?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Like you're talking a mess at this point.
Yeah.
So I feel for everybody involved. I feel for Mark, because this is his first year owning the business.
Yeah.
And he's done a great job running that business.
It was awesome. And Samantha just went, and she was nuts.
Oh my God, she was
all
nuts.
weekend.
She did
yeah.
One woman show in there or what?
Huh?
One woman show in there in the bar?
No, I mean you had people cooking, but she was pretty much.
She was the bartender and food mover and everything. She was flying that whole weekend. It was awesome. sometimes like she would bring it right over. Sometimes you just would go up there and like, yeah, she was flying back and forth. It was great. It was a great,
So
great tournament. It just
I
sucked.
give Mark a ton of credit because he's done well with that bowling alley in a somewhat difficult situation. The way that bowling alley was kind of had been, how things have done.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Pinfall was great. I would have loved to have taken advantage of the pinfall and been able to actually bowl.
I don't know if I would say pinfall was great.
Well, the pins were moving.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. You guys talk amongst yourself real quick.
Okie dokie.
Like, what other? Who owned the place before Mark had that place?
It was crap. Leanne and can't remember his name. Mike. Leanne and Mike. Mike. You probably would have seen them at the Can-Ams.
I've never been to the Can-Ams.
I thought you bowled one year. I thought you spared one year for somebody.
No.
Oh.
This October is going to be my first time ever bowling the Can-Ams.
Who are you bowling with?
Melissa Sinton.
Oh, right. That's right. She dumped Josh.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. Well, she really wanted me to bowl in the summer, but it would put my workplace in just stiff spot. So I said, I could swing it and get some people to move around, but I was like, no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So, and I make a lot of money in the summer, so I just didn't want to do that.
Well, that's for sure.
Yeah.
No, Ian, I don't think you're ever going to do that because I don't think if new management came in, that place would probably get destroyed because it's right by a theater, right by a mall. Like that would get turned into something completely different than a bowling alley.
Yeah,
we need that management to stay there because they are running the place.
I'm really happy. What was it last year or 2 years ago? Now they got their liquor license, so they can actually make a lot more money off that.
Well, yeah, they got their liquor license, but that also cost them some business because some people don't want to go bowl anymore when they can't drink what they want to drink. Yeah.
Hard for me to say anything about it because I don't drink when I bowl, but I just imagine how much money you miss on that by not having it in. Kind of like the Ferriton bowling alley that now they want to have tournaments all the time because they realize how much people drink.
Oh, I know. The Bowlodrome, yeah, they got once a month doubles now that they put on. That's where we're going this week for the B, is the Bowlodrome. You remember that place?
Yeah. I think the last time I was there was the Corey Smith's.
Yeah, Corey Smith, Dave Stewart.
Yeah. I remember. Wasn't that didn't Godwin average 137 or something like that?
Not even close, man.
No?
Me and you were high averages. I had high average at 118.9 and you were 118.7 or something like that.
Oh, were we bowling on the same team?
No. Okay. I was bowling with Andy and Robbie and Brian Bernacci. It was like a random throw together team by Dave Warren. Okay. And Andy and I were the high guys at every string, and nobody touched us. I think our closest string was our first string when we lost. I think we lost by 7, and then we went undefeated the rest of the way and just crushed the tournament. I can't remember if we even lost that first one. I don't remember. I'd have to ask Robbie. He remembers everything.
Sorry, heard a bang upstairs, and I was like, "What was that?"
Somebody's finally taken Angie.
Cat jumping off a cat tree, probably.
No, I think it was a cat knocked something off. So
of course the cat.
Yep. So long story short, thank you to everyone that came to the event. We're looking at the end of April next year of running it again. We're going to go 18 teams will be the max. And I think they're already at, the 16 teams will have.
How many lanes are in that house?
There's 20.
Okay.
But they want to leave.
Worlds there.
Yeah, they want to leave 2. And you know what? That really sucks because that really would be the perfect house for the Worlds.
Not yet. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, not yet.
Yeah. I don't know that we'll go down to 20. I have high hopes of it, but I don't know that we'll go down.
I'd like it to go down to 20.
I know, because I'd like less strings throughout a whole week.
Well, it's not even that. I think the. Oh God, I'm going to sound like a.
You get more competitive teams, plain and simple.
Thank you.
I'll say it.
Thank you.
You have some egos who don't want to bowl with each other, and they go on different teams that are just kind of trying to get a sniff at playoffs. And I was one of those teams. I've been one of those teams for many, many years. I know what it's like.
Me too. Been there, done that.
Yeah, but Adam, you had your chance and you just said no because you wanted to build your own team. You were just too cocky because you could be a 2-time world champ, maybe even a 3-time by now. But you're just like, I want to build my own team.
No,
I
never said.
way.
I said I want to bowl with my bros and my homies.
I want
That's
to
all
build my own.
said.
I want to be anchor, and then I want to be the center of attention.
So my second part is I want to get some opinions on this. Were the amount of there was a couple of incidences during the tournament where alcohol definitely played a part in some
yelling matches,
tense moments, and I'm not going to name names because I don't want this to turn into a he said, she said, he said, things like that. Okay, so what are your thoughts on? And I don't know as if there's a way to do this, but limiting alcohol.
You just can't.
How do you tell a 20, let's say 25 to be a fair age, 25 to a 70-year-old, aside from being the owner who physically cuts them off and will not serve them any more alcohol, how do you tell someone like that what to do? How do you tell someone who you know, and again, we won't name names like you'd like, how do you tell someone you know is going to go over the limit, hey, you can only have this many beers today, because once you hit this many beers, you go off to a different alley?
I don't know, because we've all seen it. We've all been there. Yeah. And I'm not using last weekend as that was just the most recent example.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you see it in most men tournaments. Yeah.
And it's not the same person. It's multiple people that we've seen this through the years.
Absolutely. There were multiple incidences where people got too much alcohol in them and either anger or
goofiness.
Or...
Goofy. Even a happy drunk is sometimes too much. Yeah. You know sometimes what I mean?
A little too belligerent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm with you. I'm with you for sure. But how do you?
Because I'm not saying to get rid of it, because I don't think, number one, you can't. It's bowling. It's
no way. Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah. Bowling and beer, bowling and alcohol go hand in hand.
Yeah.
And we all know the people that the more they drank, the better they bowled. I mean, Al Joy is a perfect example. Adam, I don't know. Did you ever bowl against Al?
The first time I heard that name in my life.
Okay. Al he's in the Hall of Fame. One of the best bowlers ever to come out of Maine. Last year in the Worlds might have been 2005-ish, maybe.
I think I hit puberty right around then.
Okay. He was one of those that the more he drank,
beer tickets.
The more he drank, the better he was, and we've all known those guys. But there never seemed to be an end. It was just like,
oh yeah.
Calvin, you would know this better than me, but wasn't Peter Kidney a little bit like that?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
A couple beers would get him going. Well, the same thing as you think like JJ. JJ can be good when he's sober, but when he's drinking, he's a lot better.
So he doesn't feel his pain.
And Robbie Hopper and Andy needs weed in him. Like if he doesn't have weed, he's not relaxed enough.
But see, that's the thing is and maybe I'm just doing shit wrong. Maybe that's the case. Maybe I've done it wrong my whole life.
Could be.
But I have tried bowling while high. I can't even function.
No, don't like have an edible or anything. You need like CBD rub on oil wherever you're hurting, something like that.
I get that, but I'm talking about these guys that are going out and smoking a joint.
Well, Scott Sparks? Scott Sparks was literally had a bag of gummies that he was just
like I don't get
smoking joints. Yeah.
Hey, all the more to him, because if I could do that, not feel the pain, I'd still be bowling.
Yeah.
And it's same with alcohol. Like I've tried to bowl while drinking. I can't.
I did
function.
it.
Like
I did it one Thursday night when I was just bored and I wanted to, I had an edible and I had 393. I don't think I threw the ball any better.
Oh, is that the night that you missed the triple pot like twice?
Yeah, triple pot twice. I had 2 doubles with 9 drops. Like, and there was one time that it came across and the pins knocked just before, like one was going this way and one was going that way, and they knocked and went the other way.
Calvin walked into bowling alley that night, and you know when you walk in fair lanes, you have that kind of open area. He walks in and he's looking at the lanes, and they're all on, but no one's bowling, and he's staring at the lanes. I'm like, I walk up to him, I'm like, oh fuck! I was like, you're cooked, aren't you? He goes, hey.
Yeah.
And like he's not watching anything, he's just looking at the white of the pins, and I'm like, yeah, you're cooked, buddy.
oh my god, that's funny.
Yeah, I felt good just before I even got into the lanes. Yeah, Adam comes over. You all right? I'm like, oh, I'm fucking high.
That's funny.
Ian brings up beer tickets, but I don't really know how you would police that either, because then everyone would just pool the tickets together. Like,
yeah,
if I were to,
I don't know. It was just a thought, and I know that we have to be adults, and I know that as an adult you have to make decisions, and every decision has a consequence, and that's okay.
Yeah,
but it just, I don't know.
It sucks when they can't control it, is essentially what it is.
Because
you embarrass someone bad enough when they're being bad like that, hopefully it leaves a stain on them so they don't want to do it again.
But they don't remember unless somebody brings it up.
Yeah, well, bring it up and embarrass them.
Well, yeah. I do want to point out a couple of things before we move on here. Maine had their open eliminations this past weekend. So I want to give 2 special shout outs. One is to Mark Smith. Mark won his first State of Maine open elimination title this weekend by beating John Sear out of Old Town. Congratulations to Mark. It's about time that you finally won one. Welcome to the club. There's a special handshake and everything that goes with that.
He is such a nice, scary-looking guy.
Mark and I go back a long way. We bowled doubles together for 3 years, out of was Oxford Hills, now Stars and Strikes. We set the state record one year, 2780. For 20 strings, which is it's all right.
Good.
It's 139 average.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty good.
It's okay. We won't say that I carried Mark, but I carried Mark. That's okay. He finally admits it. No, congratulations to Mark. And then Shannon Scribner won her 5th consecutive open eliminations title this weekend, which is quite an accomplishment. She ran away with it. Vanessa Huff came in second for the 2nd year in a row. Vanessa's a hell of a bowler. I'm sure she would like that match back. So hopefully next year she can get that.
Was it a close finish on that match, or?
No, I think I didn't see the one, and I haven't seen the scores. But I think the Mark and John Sear one, Chris Merrill lost in the quarters. I think Chris was the odds-on favorite to win, and he got upset by Cliff Walker. Cliff bowled great. I'm not taking anything away from Cliff beating Chris. He bowled great, and he deserved that win because he made the shots when he needed to. Chris had an 8-pin drop in the 10th and cherried the front one.
Oh, you think it's going down good, and then bam.
Cherried the front one, unfortunately. So, and I don't know who John beat. John's a 110, 112 average. So he went the distance.
I'm looking at 1239 to 1041 for the final 2, Mark and John.
Okay. And that's nothing against John. He's in a situation where, you're bowling a scratch tournament against a guy that is, 120 average.
Yep.
So, great job to both of them. Kai Hunt, that's who John bowled in the semifinals. Thank you, Ian. And then the main state APH, which is your average plus handicap eliminations, was held at Old Town the week before. And that was a number 12 seed, Christina Dill, beat the 11 seed Mary Bullard in the finals. So there was some upsets. Christina has been bowling for, and thank you, Paul Grant, for sending this over. Christina's only been bowling for 16 months. Mary had just started bowling last summer.
Must be an athlete if she's already bowling to that level, though. Like, she must.
Christina's got a 91 state average. She threw 120 scratch in the 10th string to win by 19 pins. So that's fantastic.
Yeah. Good ball.
Just a 19-year-old kid. Who's just a 19-year-old? Christina?
The K Hunt.
Oh, Kai. Yeah, no, Kai's 19. Yeah.
Yeah, the K Hunt.
Yeah.
Isn't he like 6'2" or something like that, too, or something?
No, Kai's pretty tall. He's got to be 6'1", 6'2", somewhere in there. He's a good bowler.
Everybody's K Hunt is big.
He's a good bowler.
He's a pretty big K Hunt, yeah.
Yeah. And then in the men's side, Mike Jakes deleted.
They'll just destroy him.
Yeah, he destroyed him.
Hilarious, Tim. I can't believe you just said that. That's so funny. He's deleted him.
He deleted him. Mike's a cool shit. Bowls out of Stars and Strikes. Has been up to the 560 several times in Moncton. So good for them. Congratulations. And over $1,000 was raised on the 2 weekends for Candlepins for Cancer. And Christina Dill's mother, who is going through cancer treatment, received a check from the Candlepins for Cancer. So not only did Christina win, but her mom got a little money from the charity as well.
Awesome.
So that's the
best part of it all.
Yeah,
Adam, you need to fix that chair. That fucking squeaking's driving me nuts.
Yeah, it's let's just say she's been used.
You need to put some oil on it.
So Adam, well, we got you here. Before we end, what's tell us a little bit about. And I know Calvin doesn't want to hear it, but tell us why you're the true king of the North.
Ah!
What? I'm the true king of the North?
Yeah.
Ah!
So I don't go throwing it in everyone's face.
Ah! I don't throw anything in anybody's face. People just keep telling me.
Now, Adam, you've. I'm gonna talk resume here for a second with you. You've got what's your high strength?
223. I actually have on my poster. A cat knocked it off the wall, and I actually got my poster there with it on it.
Calvin, what's yours?
204.
Okay, so he kicks your ass there.
Good for him.
Yeah, no, I look anything over 180
on sloppy lanes. However, ask him what his high triple was there after his 223.
I bowled in the second circuit of a match, so I didn't get a triple.
Oh.
If I would have actually put it in, if I it was a 223, a 140 something, and then like a 120 something, so I would have been like a 480 or something.
What is your high triple?
No idea. I
really
want to say something around 450.
Okay. See, I know it's a little bit different up north versus down here.
Yeah.
Because we obviously bowl a little bit different formats and stuff like that. So we do have, high singles, high triples, high five, high tens, and that's pretty common for most people down here to know that. Worlds, do you have a world's title?
No, I've only made the playoffs
Twice.
3 times.
I know you kicked our ass one year up in Moncton.
That was amazing.
No, it wasn't. That sucked.
I enjoyed it.
So, Calvin, you weren't on that team, were you? No, you weren't.
I enjoyed watching it though.
No, they were the team that they beat us after we beat you.
Yeah, because
I had Sean Dion throw 420 in my face or something like that. And I didn't notice it.
We were the 2 seed, and you were the 5 seed, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
we get a bowl the house team that's got 8,000 people cheering for them, and we got 2.
That was awesome.
I don't even think you had 2.
Well, yeah, that was our team. So we had 10.
No, I don't even think you had 10 on your team that were cheering for you.
I don't think you guys were cheering for each other.
That team never cheers for each other. That's why they'll never win.
I've only been bowling worlds now since 2014 or 2015.
Really?
Yeah, I've missed the playoffs by 2 points 4 times, 3 or 4 times, and then I made it 2 or 3 other times, and last year was the first year getting to buy with.
Why does it feel like you've been around longer than that?
Because he's a lot louder than most people.
Maybe that's it.
Probably because of that penis chant that one year put a real bad name on me, so everyone hates me.
That's all right. I hated you before that. Don't worry about it.
Okay, so no world's titles.
Nope.
So why bowling? Who'd you look up to when you were younger?
Well,
and if you say Calvin, I'm booting you off this.
No,
look up to his dad. His dad.
No, my dad's short. No, I grew up. First off, my mom was working in the bowling alley when I was born. She worked at Fairlanes.
Okay.
So I grew up hanging out there. That's where she met my biological father, and then my stepfather, who was Jason Melanson, and he raised me from I was 1 year old, so I was always there. But I'd say once I started getting competitive, like once I started breaking the 100 average when I was like 14 or whatever, I started really bowling a lot with Chris McGrady, Scott Estabrooks, and Jason Melanson.
Okay.
I always kind of say that those guys really did everything they could for me.
And
Ian McGregor.
Who's your favorite bowler and why is it me?
No. Then you can't take the line.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite American bowler and why is it me?
My favorite American bowler.
His brother, Jeff Surratt. Like, why would you even?
Yeah.
Yeah, his twin brother.
Honestly, my favorite, and this is, I haven't, like I said, when I bowl, I don't pay a lot of attention to who I'm bowling against or what everyone else is doing, but I like Winchell. I like bowling because I bowled against him before where he's throwing a 150 in my face, and I bowled against him where he's throwing a 95 at me, and he's the same guy. And I really like that about him.
I think that's the first person ever to say they like John Winchell. I don't think that's ever come out of anybody's mouth.
I like John. I've known John a long time.
I like John too. I pick on John. We pick on each other. It's fun, but I don't think I've ever heard somebody say, I like John Winchell. He's my favorite bowler to bowl against.
Sorry, I'm getting attacked by cats here.
I'm kind of I'm surprised my cat didn't come in here. Usually if I'm in this chair and lean backwards, she's usually all over me.
So
the only pussy that'll ever be all over you.
Since
I will say this, Adam, as someone who's bowled against a lot of people, I have thoroughly enjoyed the matches that you and I have bowled against each other. Whether or not I've won or lost, it's always been it's always been fun, which to me that's really all that. I'm not gonna say all that matters, but it matters to me. I want to have fun when I'm out bowling.
Well, I think it comes down to we're pretty good at having fun with razzing each other a little bit when we have fun, and you pick your moments when you know you're not going to pick on somebody.
Yeah.
But you have, first 4 boxes of any match, everyone's all up in each other's grill, and if you can't handle that, well, you're not having fun.
No, I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
I think when it gets down into the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th box,
shut the hell up.
Shut the hell up, or not so much against your opponent as much as you're having fun with yourself at that point. You know what I mean? And your team. That's kind of how I've always looked at it. And
it's like the end of a basketball game. If you're up 25 and there's a minute left on the clock, you aren't running up and trying everything or showboating or anything. You're just going through the motions, having fun.
So speaking of that, the Celtics were up 12, and now it's tied.
Oh,
and now they're losing.
What do you mean?
Oh, just a typical Celtics team that drives me nuts.
What are you trying to say?
I'm saying that they play to their whoever they're playing against. So, for example, if they were playing Milwaukee with Giannis, they'd be playing out of their asses. But you're playing a Philadelphia team without Joel Embiid, and you're playing down to them, and it just irritates the hell out of me.
Tatum's the only one doing anything. Holy!
It sounds like a Boston team syndrome.
I think it
sounds
is.
It sounds like something that the Bruins just did as they played down to Florida, and Florida just pummeled them.
Yeah, and look, every team's dealing with injuries, especially in hockey. Every team is dealing with injuries. That's no excuse. I mean, I didn't realize that Bergeron was playing with a herniated disc in his back.
Oh yeah,
I can relate.
There's no tougher athlete out there than a hockey player, man.
Oh God, no. No, I forgot who it was in the game last night for Florida. Took a shot to the leg, slap shot, got down and just hobbled for the next minute, but stayed on the ice. And I'm sitting back and I kind of chuckled because I'm like, I had flipped it over to the basketball game during intermission, and it's like, oh, so and so's got a hangnail. He's missing the next 17 games. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
So Price was on the side of the bed. There goes four more weeks.
Yeah. We got to no questions because Calvin had to spend the first 15 minutes shitting on the Bruins. Way to go!
Go Leafs, go! Bruins suck.
So
go,
we will
Leafs,
we'll get to questions. Those that have sent. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. We're gonna answer a couple of these right now because I got someone new on the show.
All right.
So our friend Wayne in Michigan is Wayne from Michigan. He has some questions about shooting splits. So I'm going to start with Adam. Okay. The half Worcester. Are you looking to split the head pin, or are you looking to outside the head pin?
I know what it is. I literally aim for the head pin, and whichever side my ball goes to, it goes to. I try not to flirt with the hole or go on the fat side. If I'm shooting for the 10, I go to the fat side. I'm purposely aiming that. But
yeah.
Aside from that, I don't think I'm good enough to aim and hit exactly where I am every single ball I throw. So I'm like, hit the head pin. I'm bad enough that I'll move to either side by an inch or two.
Calvin?
I just throw the ball.
Okay.
If it goes, it goes. Yeah. I don't know. There's no aim. Yeah, it's the same thing. Throw with the head pin and hope it hits the right spot and goes. Like there's nothing else you could do.
I will say the only time I've ever truly aimed for either side is if I'm bowling really good and I know where my ball is going, I may aim for the outside of the head pin.
Yeah.
I might. If I've got a half Worcester left and my ball breaks right to left, then I may aim for the outside.
What if you have the spread eagle minus the 7 or 10? What do? You go less on the more or more on the less?
So if I've got the spread eagle minus the back pin on one side or the other?
On one side, yeah.
It depends on what side it's on typically. Okay. With my ball breaking right to left, I tend to cut things over more from left to right because my ball is breaking in.
Okay. So if you had like the 2, 4, 3, 6, 10, you'd be cutting the 2 onto the 3.
Probably.
Okay.
Again, it depends on how I'm bowling and where I'm bowling. And I hate to put it that way because my ball breaks more in other places than it does in some. And just as someone that's bowled a long time, I know what my ball is going to do and where it's going to go.
I mean, you still throw hard enough that your ball shouldn't be breaking too much as it goes down the lane, does it?
No, it doesn't, but it does break. Yeah. So I know this, and I know in Augusta my ball actually grabs more. So sometimes I tend to go more to the right side, so the 3, 6, 10, and try to cut that 3 between the 3 and the 6, and try to cut the 3 across because I know my ball is going to break more in. Okay. It's weird. I don't know. It's playing angles and geometry and shit like that. And I sucked in geometry in high school, so.
See, I've always been taught less on the more. If the front pins are at equal locations, I've always been taught less on the more for the spare.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, that's what you should do because if not, if you play the other side, you're not getting the extra pin to help you out. Exactly. But again, depending on how I'm feeling, and I'm the same way, Tim. Depending on how I'm feeling, I'm like, yeah, I could probably cut this over and make the 2 of them. Yeah.
And it also, and I hate to say this, it also depends on the sidewall action.
Yeah.
Canadian house or American house.
If I'm in a house with an active sidewall, I may try to play it outside of the 3 pin and play everything off the wall and have it come across. I don't know. And that leads into Wayne's next question of the spread eagle. Do you go right or left? I tend to go to the left to try to cut it over to the right. But that, again, that's more in.
I think that one comes down to if you're a left to right bowler or right to left. Or, yeah, which alley you go. If you're cross alley or straight up.
Yeah. To be honest, again, I just throw the ball. And if I make it, I make it. If I don't, I don't.
Look, 90% of the time on a spread eagle, I'm not trying to make it.
No, I'm trying to get the 10.
I'd probably say 95% of the time, I'm not trying to make it.
Yeah.
I always shoot the 3. I always try and shoot the 3.6. I aim for the 3 for the spread eagle even.
I'm trying to get the 10 and move on.
Yeah.
And I think that's, Wayne, that leads to your last question of the 2-and-1 splits with a single pin closer to the front than the others. For example, 2-6-10 or 1-4-7. 1-4-1.
Yeah, I wouldn't really consider a 1-4-7 a split, but yeah.
No, I think.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're missing the 2-pin. It's a little harder because you could.
Oh, I see what he's talking. So the 6-10 and the 2, yeah, the 2's going to be the frontmost pin.
Yeah.
I see what he's talking. Okay,
you cut the 2 over.
If I've got to make the shot, then I'm trying to cut.
Pin, yeah.
I'm trying to cut the 2-pin across.
Yeah.
It's
literally the only way the shot goes. So you're stuck.
Yeah, the only time I'm going for the other 2 is if, again, in a close match, and I need
or that, yeah,
and I need pin count.
Yeah.
If you don't know where to shoot, closest point of contact.
But that's almost not true, Tim, because if in a close match, you're going to want to make the spare.
True, I
right?
guess.
So you're going to go on your second ball.
So now that leads you to, you're on a strike and you leave something like that in a close match.
That's different.
Now
you want the pinfall.
Right. Are you going for the count?
Depending on how the match is, yeah.
Is it early in the match? Is it late?
Yeah.
If it's late in the match and you're down, I'm trying to make the shot.
Yes. But if it's late in the match, and it's like 4 pins and my bowler needs to make one of them hard spares and I can get 9 on my mark and then 10 in the box to, almost clinch it.
I'm taking 9 and 10.
I'm taking 9 and 10, yes.
Yeah.
But if it's a close match and I'm down and I need to make this shot, well, I got to make the shot.
So one last question, and this is to Adam. Now that you've been on the show and you're on the show, I should say, tell me why Candlepin bowling? What draws you to it? What brings you to it?
Well, it's the only bowling around here. That's really it. I don't like playing hockey, so I got nothing else to do in the winter. And it's just plain and simple. I grew up with it, and it's a habit at this point, and I can't imagine not doing it. I still look more forward to ball every year than I do bowling, but
I still can't. I can't imagine.
It's
just so hot all the time. Playing ball again. I said I'd probably spare this year if somebody needed me, but it's just so hot.
And you're not good at it, so you don't like it as much.
I'm sorry, you're playing ball. Down here, playing ball means you're playing basketball.
Oh, no, softball or baseball.
Softball
okay.
Or baseball.
Okay.
I am quite good at baseball, Adam. I just
Canadians play softball and baseball?
Yeah.
Softball's huge here.
I'm just giving you shit.
Yeah.
We got our snowshoes. Once it gets late in the season, we throw those on and water over the first.
Yeah. No, I know softball is huge up there because obviously I know a lot of people up there that play all, not all year, but it's coming into that time and they're gearing up to play. Yeah. So I know a lot of them are like that. So we're gonna wrap up. Adam, thank you for joining us.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you having you on. Calvin, you can go piss up a rope.
Go, please, go.
Go, Pam.
Go.
If they lose this series, please bring me back on. Please.
It doesn't matter.
Not if they win, though.
I got my fame.
Oh, Calvin doesn't care if the Maple Leafs actually win a Stanley Cup because no one's ever going to see it.
No.
No one in our lifetime is ever going to see the Leafs win a Stanley Cup. So
no, I'm just here to enjoy the moment of Boston losing and Toronto winning. It's
Toronto
great.
Getting out of the first round. I mean,
Celtics are down now.
Ha ha.
Oh my God.
What a bunch of losers. All right.
Anyway,
I can't do it in the Brian voice, but the views and expressions of Calvin, Tim, and Adam are those of Calvin, Tim, and Adam. I can't do it.
You can't do it.
No,
Folks, send us your questions, your comments, your concerns about Brian's OnlyFans account. Big Booty Brian, that he couldn't make it tonight. Feel free to send those to rippingtherackpodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter @rippingtherackpodcast. And playing the role of Brian will be me. You can also find us on YouTube, Spotify, Anchor Breaker, iTunes, iHeartRadio, and wherever else you listen to
Anchor
your
or whatever. I don't know.
podcast mediums.
Post in the comments why you think I'm a better bowler than Calvin, and we'll see how it goes.
Nobody will ever post a comment. Then we'll never have comments in
I think Fuller will have my back on that a little bit.
I think Fuller's definitely got Adam's back on that. Adam, we'd like to thank Adam Melancholy, Melatonin.
It's like
Powder.
Cobra Kai.
Can we call him Powder?
Melanson.
Can we call him Powder?
Oh yeah, he's powder.
Hey, look how white the dude is. Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah, look at that bald spot, just glistening.
Oh, that's well. Hey, I got it. I'm there with you, bud. Thank you again, Calvin. I'd even thank you, but it's not really worth my time. So,
neither is watching Boston play in the playoffs. Oh.